template that I've created, which we'll use to explore setting up an ebook. This is a template that I use for my own books, and it allows me to not have to create the file from scratch every time. I'll show you the template that I've set up for myself, and then you can see how you could customize this default template to suit your own purposes and be a template for your books. Now, the template that you're looking at now is for sale, so you can either follow through on the tutorial and create your own template, or you could purchase this one and modify it to suit your own purposes. Up to you. I'll open the template that I currently use for my books. File open. This is the template that we're going to be looking at and using in the tutorial, but I'll give you a brief run through on the template as it's set up for my own books. Okay, so looks the same, but some of the things you'll notice is these are a set of default pages that you may or may not have in a book. So this page that we're looking at here is the cover image. So this is a page where you would replace this existing placeholder image with the cover of your book. And I've indicated a size here. These are not fixed in stone. You can put in sizes that you like, and as time goes on and readers become more capable, this image size may change, but for the moment it works well for most readers. So we've got a title page. So I have this set up for myself. Obviously the title here would need to change for each book that I create, but I have my author's name, my basic title information, and I replace these items with the relevant information for the book. The ISBN number, I run under the name of the publisher, what else is possible. Copyright information in here. So in the default template that you purchase or you make for yourself, you would replace the information that I have put in there as placeholder information with your own information. A preface file. So here it's set up with the title and text, ready to be replaced with your own text. Same with foreword. In this one there's a subtitle where you put the name of the author in there, or the writer who provided the foreword. Acknowledgements, if you'd like to thank people, and you could also change the name of these quite easily and modify them and suit them to suit your own purposes. An introduction file. Many books have an introduction. Now this one here, we'll work with this one later, but this is my default chapter file. And I'll leave that as it is now, because we will be working and changing that. At the end of all the chapters, perhaps an epilogue. You might have an appendix. There's likely to be a bibliography where you'd put information in about your research, about the author. So I've already filled in all of my details about my author, so I don't have to create this again. This just shows up every time that I want to create a new ebook. Other books. Now, in the back of my books, I generally have a section with other books, books by myself. These are the titles of some of the books that I have, so I have them in my default file so that I don't have to make them every time. These images are available in the file, so these are the books that I have available, and you might like to do something similar. So this page in particular doesn't need to be modified unless I'm adding a new book or removing one. So these are all of the pages and the chapters that would appear in our book, and we will modify them and add to them, and I'll show you how to do that later. We've got a file in here. Now, Sigil comes with a default set of styles, but what I've done is added in a style file to modify some of those default styles, and I'll take you through that and show you how that works later. I've got an images folder. You can see here these images here, this one here for example. There it is there. So that's that cover there. And that's held in the images folder. This is a default set out, all of these folders on Sigil. Font, audio, video I'm not using. Miscellaneous I'm not using. Down here we've got a file called content OPF. Now if I open that, this is automatically created by Sigil, and it's used by ebook readers to gain information and organization about the file that's relevant to the reader, as in the sense that the display device, be it an iPad, a Kindle, whatever that is. So this is a file that's automatically created, and generally you don't have to do very much with this as Sigil manages it for you, but sometimes you have to. And the TOC is table of contents. Let's have a look at that. And again, this is automatically created as your table of contents is created and modified here. So generally you would not have to modify this or edit it, though sometimes you might, so it's good to know where it is. Okay, so I'll close that file down, and let's open the default file now that you would receive if you purchased this template file. Okay, so if we look at, so we've got a similar listing of ready-made pages. We've got the style file. We've got a default set of images. These are placeholder images that you'll replace. So for example, if we look at other books now, you can see that I've replaced the default text that I had in my own file with some placeholder text and placeholder images. And so we'll look at how you modify this information to suit your own purposes. You'll notice here on the right hand side that the table of contents is available, and I'll show you how to modify that and how that updates as you progress. Let's have a quick look at the style file. If I open this, you'll notice we've got some information here about heading 1 to 6, and this influences how heading 1 to 6 shows up in your book. So I'm overriding Sigil's default settings with some information of my own, and I will look at this with you briefly to show you how you can modify what's here, and you may like to teach yourself or take some online tutorials with CSS, cascading style sheets, which is the method or the standard by which you can modify text in an ebook page that we're looking at now. So we'll go through those things in future tutorials. Okay. So this is an overview of the template file that we'll be working on in creating a new ebook.